The future belongs to those who understand that learning is a lifelong journey and innovation is born from the courage to explore the unknown. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session. We have gathered today to celebrate partnerships that embodies this very spirit of continuous learning and innovation. IBM, a century-old technology pioneer, has been at the forefront of global innovation since 1911. From mainframe computers to artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and quantum technologies, IBM continues to shape the future of business and society. With a commitment to research development and education, IBM has partnered with many leading institutions worldwide to foster technological advancement and talent development. The long-standing partnership between IBM and SRM Institute of Science and Technology represents a bridge between industry expertise and academic excellence, fostering innovation and knowledge transfer. The enduring relationship continues to prepare students for tomorrow's technological challenges, while advancing research frontiers through meaningful industry-academic collaboration. I now request Suresh sir to please come and introduce our distinguished guest for the day.
Good morning. Good morning, students. But no energy. You had a breakfast. Good morning. Yeah. It is my absolute pleasure and honor to welcome a distinguished guest to our campus today. A session professional, a lifelong learner, and a true inspiration for all, is preparing to a step into the world of technology and innovation. Please join me welcoming Mr. Srinath, Associate Partner in IBM. Give him warm welcome. A delivery leader at IBM who brings with him over 25 years rich experience in the technology and consulting space. Over the course of illustration career, Mr. Srinath has successfully led numerous large-scale modernization programs and cutting-the-edge new product development initiatives. His leadership has consistently driven innovation and transformation of global clients, helping them navigate the ever-evolving digital landscape. What truly sets Mr. Srinath apart is not just as an extensive experience, but his underlying passion of technology and problem solving. He is someone who firmly believes that learning has no age. That the belief is reflected in his own life. He is currently pursuing his second master degree in artificial intelligence at IIT. Then it itself is a powerful reminder to all of us of the journey of learning never really ends. Outside his professional endeavors, Mr. Srinath has deep interest in exploring the past. He enjoys visiting, learning about historical places, connecting stories of human innovation across the country. Today, he is here to share his insights to the world of IBM, the opportunity awaits from this industry, perhaps the most importantly, the mindset skills we need to thrive the rapidly changing technology of the world. So, without further ado, please give him warm welcome to Mr. Srinath. I welcome Mr. Srinath to the innovation. You have any on this after doing his presentation? If you have any relevant questions, please don't hesitate. Please ask the questions. Clear the doors with Srinath. He is here to help you. Okay? All the best. Thank you.
Check. Check. Okay. Guys, can you hear me? No. Can you hear me, guys? Thumbs up if you hear me. Okay, good. Thank you. So, okay, so I have to be here for the control to work. First of all, thank you for warm welcome. I'm very honored to be here connecting with you all. In the next 40-45 minutes, what we're going to go through is what is life in IBM like, and we'll also go through the hiring process and also any questions you have on the hiring process that we will be following. Before I go in, just a brief intro. I love learning, right? I want all of you, whether you join IBM or any other company, to not stop learning, right? Learning doesn't end when you get your BTech degree. This is my 22nd year in IBM, right? I joined in 2004, early 2004, but I've never stopped learning. So learning is very important. I'll start with that because I'm very passionate about, but we'll go through the stuff. Okay, so as I said, we'll look into what life in IBM looks like, right? What are the kind of opportunities that we have at IBM? I'm looking for the best minds from here to work for us. Okay, is there a way we can play that? Just want to play a quick video. Audio is not coming. It was coming earlier. That's okay, but you can see there is the subtitles out there.
All throughout my career, I've been able to do what I love, switching to different projects to get out of my comfort zone.
It's always time to learn new things, and it's our legacy that continues to motivate us.
It is innovative minds that play a vital role in delivering better things to the world.
It's just mind-blowing that the solutions we make impact people's day-to-day lives.
Okay, at least you got to hear a bit of it. Before we move forward, you saw introducing that, look, IBM is more than 100 years old. Does anybody have a clue exactly how many years is IBM? Raise your hand and answer. How many? Yeah? 114 years, that's right. Right, so we've been here in the technology business for 114 years. No other technology company survived this many years. Some companies came and went, right? The reason why IBM survived and reinvented itself again and again as the new technologies came forward is because of the learning. It was able to learn, it invests in people. It doesn't see technology as a product, it sees its people as its asset. So the people keep reinventing, right? So that's why we have been successful all these years. So those are three things that we're going to cover. What makes IBM special, right? Curiosity, individuality, and possibility. Okay, we'll start with possibility. So what are the possibilities when you are at IBM is what we'll cover in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so first one was the answer, so you guys have answered it correctly. So the second one, right? IBM invests in its communities. It's not about just our shareholders and employees. We take care of training across the world. We are investing heavily in training underdeveloped countries, underprivileged kids to learn technology. So the number that you see there, 30 million, that is the number of students that IBM is making a difference through its outreach programs across the world. Right? So today, what we're going to do is, what are the things that IBM is investing in right now in terms of technology space, right? So everybody would have heard AI. Anybody who hasn't heard AI? No, right? Each of you would have heard AI. I'm sure you have used ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, for all your project work. We have stopped doing our own work, right? We're now training our models to do our work for us, and we're doing it. In fact, in IBM, we encourage that. So every developer, tester, business analyst, you name it, every role, they have AI access, and we tell them, do things faster, do things more efficient, use AI. We are not saying, oh, don't use AI, you have to remember everything and type everything, all the code. No. Whatever it is. We encourage people to use AI. So IBM is investing heavily in AI. Hybrid cloud. You would have heard about AWS, Google Cloud, Azure Cloud. IBM also has a cloud, right? We are different purely because we are not into the end customer usage. It's not like me as an individual go and get some space on a IBM cloud. We are with corporates. We work closely with the corporates for their hybrid cloud, because you take any bank, for example, a bank will never store its data on a public cloud. It will still keep the data very secure in its own data center. But for certain things, it needs to be on the cloud, right? So that's where the hybrid cloud is. So we have invested very heavily into the hybrid cloud space. Quantum is another thing that IBM is investing very heavily on. Qubits, I'm sure you've heard about it. In fact, it's a proud moment that IBM, in partnership with Government of Andhra Pradesh, is setting up its first quantum computer in India at Amaravati. I'm sure it's in the news. Many of you would have seen that. So this is our investment, our commitment, IBM's commitment to the technology and to India. This is our first supercomputer, the quantum computer in India, being set up in Andhra Pradesh near Amravati. And we're fully into client consulting. Next slide. Okay, so I'll just only spend 2 minutes on this. I spoke about AI, hybrid cloud, all of IBM's investment in these things are around our flagship product, Red Hat. Red Hat was a separate company many years ago, like 12, 13 years ago. IBM purchased it, we acquired it, right? And all of Red Hat's products are our marquee flagship products. So our base, IBM's base of all products that it has is on Red Hat. We are very proud of our CEO, Arvind Krishna, because he has reinvented IBM again, right? He brought in innovation in terms of the products, the kind of facilities that we offer through our products. watsonx is our AI platform. Again, watsonx has multiple parts to it, but watsonx is a platform that we work with various companies, work with various corporates to enable their AI for them. We also use internally for ourselves as well. And we have our software labs where we develop software like DB2, WebSphere, all other software that's used predominantly in the market space. Along with, so the infrastructure is IBM Z. Okay, just a quick question. People say mainframes are old, right? Everything is now in open systems, etc. Any guess what percentage of banks in the world use mainframe? Wild guess, anybody? Come on. Your professor told that you guys are very active guys, but I'm not getting any answer. 70%. 70% of the banks even today use mainframe. Okay, so mainframe is not gone. In fact, we are reinventing. As we speak today, I chose this session versus another session that's happening about new advancements in System Z happening in Hyatt Residency in Mount Road, where we are presenting to various companies about the new innovations we are doing within mainframe. So that's on our infrastructure and power series machines. And consulting, I'm from consulting, right? So I spoke about all these hardware, software division. Consulting is a division where we support the end customers, like building software for them, building applications for them, taking care of their data needs, taking care of their AI needs, support needs, all that. That's part of consulting division, which is actually IBM is the heart of IBM India specifically is heart of consulting because most of the work happens from India. We'll move to the next. Right. So I think I mentioned quickly touched upon some of these points when I talked about consulting AI, right? AI leadership. So we are working with various customers to implement artificial intelligence for them. Gen AI these days, right? AI means Gen AI anybody for, these days, but AI used to exist even before. I think it was in 2011 when IBM's Jeopardy, right? It won a game against humans in US. Anybody aware of that? Anybody aware of what 2011 is a big milestone in AI journey? IBM and in general for AI industry. A game called Jeopardy. I don't know if you've heard about it. So what Jeopardy does is it'll give you answer. You have to guess the question. If you give a question, getting an answer is easy. But if you have a answer, guessing the right question for the answer needs a lot of thinking. So IBM won that game against humans. Before that, of course, our Deep Blue supercomputer defeated Garry Kasparov in the chess championship, right? So we have been pioneers, but we are not into the end user AI, right? You won't have a ChatGPT or a Gemini from IBM. Our products, our services are with corporates. That's where we focus on. So we take models. IBM has this thing called Instruct Lab. You can check this out at your free time. All of IBM's models, we call them Granite models, like GPT model. Oops. Right. So all GPT models, they are like GPT. We have IBM has our own models called Granite models, and they're all open sourced. So you can, which means that you can download them. You can download the models and configure them, tune them for your own benefit without any charge. Instruct Lab is a platform that will allow us to do that. Next. Okay, I'll spend a few minutes about Watsonx before going to the next section. So Watsonx again has three main things that we invest heavily on: AI, data, and governance. Everybody talks about AI, right? These are models where you can configure the model and run them. But Watsonx data is for AI to work very efficiently, your data is very important. Unlike a GPT, where it has been trained on information that is available on the internet, in a corporate world, it's not like that, right? Your data, customers' data is not available on the internet. That is your proprietary data. How do you use that? How do you massage the data? How do you feed it to AI models to get the best value? So that's an offering in itself that we use called What's Next Data. And the third one is very important, governance. Today, we don't know what kind of biases are getting into the system, right? There was a couple of years back, I think, there was a test on all the OpenAI models where they asked a question, show a picture of a scientist, right, or a STEM engineer, right, at work. So all the models showed a picture of a white man, right, doing some experiment. That's biased, right? Are we saying that there are no brown men, no women, no black men, no women doing any of this work? So that's where bias comes into picture. So our governance will help corporates to stay away from bias. It puts guardrails when you're training the systems. So very important offering from IBM that we use called the governance. Next slide. Okay, so that's just a brief summary about what to expect in IBM, right? Be it about AI, be it about our Red Hat OpenShift range. I want to then now talk about a culture, right? Our lifelong learning that I mentioned about. Move to next. As I said, right? Always be learning. I mentioned that. I also mentioned that during my introduction, the professor mentioned that I'm doing my second master's in artificial intelligence. At my designation, it's not needed. But unless you do and rediscover yourself, right, you can't survive. You can't take IBM forward. So that's the same thing I want to talk about here. So we have in IBM, there are a couple of things. One, your learning. Your learning is a portal, or it's a university in itself. There's huge amount of trainings out there where we conduct classroom trainings, we conduct online, there are a lot of online trainings that happen, and it is getting measured every day. It's part of your goal. If you don't achieve X number of hours learning something, right, then you won't qualify for a better rating for that year in terms of performance appraisal. So your learning becomes very important. Your career, that shows how you can grow. I'll show a couple of slides with some examples, right? What in IBM it is you can switch your careers. I started my career as a Java developer 22 years ago, right? Then I moved on. I did management work on some mainframe projects, right? Then something on Siebel, CRM kind of engagements. Then Microsoft engagements. Now my portfolio contains everything. Modernization, Java, Python, you name it, right? So it allows you to change roles very efficiently, right? You can go horizontal or vertical. We'll see some examples of that. And you will have guides at IBM. And we encourage everybody to do that. There will be people, senior people, who will register themselves as guides. You can choose a mentor who will guide you, who will mentor you through your career. So that's another important aspect of IBM's career progression system. And digital badges. Everything is measured through digital badges. Example, if you are certified as an architect in IBM, because IBM has our own certification mechanism inside, once you come inside, right? For example, if you have to get promoted from being, let's say, a team lead or a technical lead to an architect, right? So there will be an architect certification that one has to go through. He will have to go through a board, present about his work in front of the board. The board will approve, saying that yes, this person can now be promoted to an architect. The beauty is, if you get certified that way, that certification is linked to OpenAI architect certification. Essentially, that means that if you get certified within IBM as an IBM certified architect, the OpenAI group, the Open Architecture group also gives the architect certification just based on that. Same with PMI. If somebody is going to pursue a career in project management, a lot of courses that we do in IBM automatically get qualified for you to get the corresponding credentials, corresponding certifications outside with various other accreditation companies, right? Like PMI, like Scrum Alliance, because we are part of defining their curriculum. So they know our standards. So if you do something within IBM, you automatically qualify for that. So that's about the digital badges. Move to the next. I'll give a second for you to read this message. So Arvind Krishna is a great leader, right? After he has come in, our culture of reinventing continued. The focus he has on learning is amazing. So as a culture in our company, we promote risk-taking. It is okay to fail as long as you learn from it, right? It's better said in words, but we practice in action. Your company, your management will be backing you when you try something and fail. Because only when you try, you will succeed, right? If there is a fear of failure, you will never try anything. So learning is the key thing that we will focus on. Next. Okay, so the career progression, the opportunities in IBM is what we'll spend the next few slides on. What next? So I'm here to talk about IBM, why you should join IBM, right? We are present in 170 countries, right? There's no country that has an IT where there is no IBM. So that's the kind of outreach that we have in terms of number of countries that we have, number of companies that we work with. We pretty much work with all the Fortune 500 companies, right? We work with most of the governments, right? We do a lot of work for various governments. In fact, if somebody has a State Bank of India account, SBI Yono app was something that we delivered, by IBM to SBI. So we do a lot of things with various other countries, and it's a great environment. You can be yourself, right? Nobody will question you about your faith, your color, right? Your gender. In fact, we celebrate the diversity. We celebrate the gender diversity. We celebrate neurodiversity also, right? Diversity of various forms. In fact, there are some people who are having, autism, I don't know if you heard about this, autism is a spectrum, right? These days autism, is having a lot of articles, but autism is a spectrum. It doesn't mean that somebody is autistic or non-autistic. I might be autistic to a small extent. Somebody might be autistic to a much larger extent. So we look at that in a positive angle, and we invite people to be part of the teams to make a difference in the society, right? So we are very inclusive on various fronts. Work-life balance, as of now, right, at IBM, if you're part of the consulting division, where we are going to have the hiring process next week, we have to be in office working with your teams 3 days a week. That gives you the flexibility. And the other 2 days, you will be working from home. But that depends on the project. There are specific clients who would want you to work for 5 days in office. So it depends on that. Depends on your project, depends on the technology, the environment that you're working on, etc. So there's a lot of roles that we are hiring for. Some of the things like architects, designers, product managers, project managers are all when you grow, right? Initially, we'll be hiring at the entry level. Next slide. So we can move on. Next slide. Okay, so some of the things that outside work I want to talk about. We have this program called IBM Service Corps. What is this program? So every year for this program, there will be nominations that get opened. Every individual has right to apply for it to do social service, right? So we take specific things, right? And these are typically initiatives that go for like 40 days, 45 days, where you go into a specific college. Sometimes we take it across cultures. People from India will be going into somewhere in either in Africa or in Europe or in other Southeast Asian countries, and you go and do a social service, sitting with our universities, training, changing their curriculum, or sitting with the students, teaching them some things, or going and designing systems for hospitals, etc. for free. That is also considered as your work. So we will be giving you a sabbatical, paid sabbatical from the work to go and pursue those kind of things. So for that also, of course, you have to apply. There are a lot of volunteering opportunities that happen, various recognition programs out there where you can there is peer recognition as well as manager recognition, right? Sometimes somebody right next to you might have helped you to solve a problem. So that also will be, you can reward the person. Hey, he is this guy who helped me solve a problem. You can reward the person. So peer recognitions are also available within IBM. And we have best of the coverage in terms of your healthcare and other things which you will know. These are all standard things that we go through. Next slide. We'll move on. Next. Yeah, you can put the sound. Sound, please. Okay. So these are some of the examples, right? Some of the profiles, some of the people who have been working in IBM. So sharing their experiences with you all.
You have the opportunity to work with some of the most amazing people to really discover where you want to take your career. And then all the resources and the support available at IBM means that you can then make this a reality.
Okay. We can move to the next. Okay. So right now, while there are various programs where you can join IBM, consulting is what I said, where we work with the customers and customers. Software development is where you work on building new softwares. Right now, what we will be focusing on will be the consulting. The hiring that will happen sometime next week, that will start, will be on the consulting side of the world. Next slide. Okay, these are some of the pictures that talk about diversity at work and how we celebrate various festivals at work, right? As I said, cultural inclusion, right? So a lot of things that we do that will keep you or make you feel at home. Okay, so next 5 minutes I'll spend on this slide, what it means when you join IBM, right? So the first 2 months is going to be about building skills once you join IBM. That's about training, right? You will have a lot of learning programs that you will go through. Then once you go through that, then you get assigned to a project, right, or an assignment. So from month 3 to 12, that's about learning, right? Coaching, you get your project, you get your feedback, you learn from the seniors, and this is a loop that would continue. And at the end of month 12 is when you are, what we call is, you are a professional at that point. You're no longer an early professional. So till then you're going to be called an early professional, but from there onwards, you become part of the system in terms of your promotions, in terms of how things go, etc. Okay. Okay, so this is the slide that I want to spend a few minutes on. I was mentioning earlier that you can change your roles. You can change from one career path to another career path. So what you see here is a representation of that. So when you start, right, as an early professional, so you can be a technical specialist, you can be a developer, you can be a design, data scientist, etc. But from early professional, then you go to the next level, which is the professional. That professional part is very big, okay, actually. So it ranges from anybody from 2 to 2.5 years experience to till you get into executive role. So that's the professional thing. So you can move, right? So the coloring is not that intuitive. So I don't think this is working. So for example, you can move from being technical to domain. Let's say you love banking, right? Or you love healthcare. So you want to be a business analyst, a consultant who would work with the clients to redesign their processes. You can do that. You don't have to be, when you join as a developer, you don't have to remain as a developer. So when you join IBM, of course, the first assignment will be based on the demand. Which projects have demand, right? Is it mainframe? Is it Java? Is it, is it on the testing front? Or is it on any of the other AI skills? So it depends on the demand that we have initially. But once you get into it and once you complete the first couple of years, then you have opportunity to move around. You want to move from being a developer to a data scientist, you can. Or you want to move from being a tester to a business analyst to define the new processes, you can. Right? So all that is possible between various roles. But once we get into executive growth paths, executive is purely again technical or consulting. Right? Either you're technologist or you're purely into business development. So that's a unique feature of IBM, because very few companies will allow you to move both horizontal and vertical. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so there's a couple of slides specifically on SAP. Why I'm calling this out especially is we have a lot of openings on the SAP front. Where we will be doing some of the hiring on. You'll be trained, of course, right? So as far as SAP is concerned, we have huge client listing, right? We support almost all modules in SAP, right? Be it about supply chain, customer experience, financial management, all the modules are supported. So a lot of functional training on these modules will also happen as a part of your onboarding and job. Next slide, please. Just giving you an idea about how many people we have. Just in SAP alone, we have 38,000 people working in SAP. And of course, 22,000 of them are already certified. We have 53 years of partnership with SAP. And in fact, there's a program called SAP Rise, where SAP has decided to partner with IBM, and they have installed their entire suite of software on IBM Cloud to be available for the customers. Right? So our partnership goes a long way. Next. So HANA, cloud, various things that we have that we will be working through. Okay, if you could play this, if you can. Are you able to play this one? No? Okay, that's okay. No problem. You can move on. So this is where our globally integrated enterprise are. So I said right earlier, we are present in 170 countries. So when we are present in 170 countries, all those countries is where we have customers. But most of the work that we do, like building a software, building an application, is happening from these countries, right? So and we call them globally integrated enterprises, which means that you can serve any country from either of these locations. So in India, we call typically tier 1 and tier 2 cities like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore. Bangalore is our headquarters. Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Pune. These are our tier 1 cities where we have a large population. We have started extensively into tier 2 cities. That's Mysore, Coimbatore, Kochi, right? Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar. In fact, we are also planning to open one in Lucknow. So these are all various other centers we are expanding heavily into so that we can tap into the talent from those cities, right? A lot of people, because of the cost of living or whatever reasons, right, so would prefer to be closer to their hometowns. So our locations will help get there. Right, next. Okay, so this is just giving IBM's locations. I just called out all the names anyway. So if you see on the left side, right, there are various divisions that you are seeing, right? Domestic business, India Systems Development Lab, research, right? So research for the world is happening from India, like the P-series chip. That is in part, many servers is being developed out of Bangalore. A lot of software research happens through these research labs. Then we have software labs. So different ones are in different cities. It's just giving you an idea of what is there in each of these cities. Okay, next. Just a few pictures about our facilities. Right, we have industry labs. So IBM focuses a lot on being part of industry, right? Knowing technology like Java or a Python or a C# or any other language is not enough. You need to know the business. So we have specific labs around each industry. We have a lab for banking, we have a lab for insurance, we have a lab for industrial sector, etc., where people learn applying technology for that specific industry. So those are the industry labs that you see there. IX Studio is all about visual interface development. Cyber range is where we detect threats, cyber threats to companies. So that is done through a central division there. Right, and we have a similarly labs for Microsoft, which will focus specifically on Microsoft technologies. Again, one thing I want to call out that IBM means that IBM doesn't work only on IBM technologies. We support all technologies. We support Microsoft technologies, we support Google technologies, we support OpenAI, we support everything, because for us it's about what the customer wants. Next slide, please. Okay, how we are organized. So IBM is organized into sectors. Vertical. So when you join IBM, you become part of a sector. A sector means an industry, right? You're part of banking, you're part of telecom, you're part of industrial, etc. So or healthcare. So those are verticals, we call them. And then you belong to a technology, right? Those are the horizontals that you see. So at any point of time, you belong to two: a vertical and a horizontal. So vertical from a business perspective, understanding the client businesses, horizontal from a technology perspective. So you see those here, right? So all the horizontal ones like IBM iX, this will be people who work on front end, like Node.js, React.js, that kind of technologies. Data and technology transformation would be people who work on the backends, right? Like Snowflake. I'm just giving some examples. Right? Hybrid cloud management would be more about people who build applications, Java based on the cloud applications, etc. Okay, and we have cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a big division in IBM where we focus on solving these clients' cybersecurity threats. Next. Okay, I'll skip this because we have a large ecosystem of partners. It just talks about how many certifications we have. right? We encourage everybody to take an industry certification. In fact, every year, if you don't do one certification at your level, you won't be rated at the highest level, right? So we have various ratings, whether you have each keys. For a skills key, unless you do at least one certification paid by IBM, right? IBM will pay for the certification, but if you don't do a certification that year, you won't get the right rating. So that's an investment in learning, right? Next, please. Okay, so some of the rewards that we get. In fact, every year I go and attend and collect a reward for IBM as the best place for diversity in IBM. You know, that happens sometimes in Chennai and in Bangalore. Every year IBM is one of the top 10. Next slide, please. Okay, so some of the clients that we have, just very minimal listing given here. Next. Okay, most important, right? The hiring process, how we are going to go about, right? So we will be getting a list of nominations from your college, right, with the names. All of them will also be requested to register in a venture site, right? That's IBM's site. So when you get that instruction to register, you must go and register, because when you register, you get an ID, right? A number. That's very important, because your application process in IBM is all tagged to that particular ID, which your ID, right? Then there will be internal screening that will happen, be it about your earlier marks and stuff like that. Then the assessments will be purely on two things. One is on language, that is English communication, and the other is on the coding skills, right? So we are envisioning to have two such rounds. One will be online, right? So once you go through an online round of both coding as well as communication, so there will be filtering that would happen there, and the next round will be in person, that will happen here, right? So that will be the second round. Once you go through the first assessment round, there will be a second round of English and coding that would happen. So once you clear that, then you will have an interview. So it's one interview that is a combination of technical plus soft skills, right? So we call it PDM. So the idea here is that we look at you as a person, right? We look at various aspects like your, what is your communication, spoken communication, how active you have been in various other activities in your college, how honest you are, your background, how are you able to synthesize a question when we ask something, right? As Arvind Krishna said, it's not about knowing all the answers. Not everybody will know all the answers, right? But when asked a question, how are you reacting to it, right? Your confidence, a lot of things will be looked at in that one interview. There will only be one interview. Otherwise, everything else is assessments, right? And once you go through the interview, once you complete the interview process, you get selected, you are given a LOI, right? LOI is letter of intent, where IBM will give you our intent to take you on the roles, right? Or to offer you a job, right? So that is one part of the process. So getting up to an LOI is one part of the process where there is screening at every level. After you have the letter of intent, right, then for certain people, right, so this is something new, for certain people there will be pre-onboarding training, right, a pre-joiner training based on some of the skills that will have a long gestation period, right? So we would want to start some of these trainings before you join, right? So that will be, of course, worked with your college and all that, and it will be, most of them would be online and all that, right? So some people will go through a pre-joiner training, pre-joiner learning, right? Then there will be, and as you complete your last semester, Sem 4, right? So there will be the background check that would happen on your profile, not just your existing marks and all that, but some standard checks that will be done, right? I mean, you will be searched against a database of any police cases, criminal histories, and stuff like that, right? I'm sure you guys don't have to worry about that, but we do that, right? So a lot of background checks happen based on your credentials, right? Aadhaar and PAN both are mandatory, right? Both Aadhaar and PAN are mandatory for this process, because be it for the whole application process or for the background check process, right? After the background check is when you get the offer letter, followed by onboarding. So some people who don't go through the pre-joiner training or learning will go through the training after onboarding, right? So I spoke about, when I showed the journey map of early hires, I spoke about first 2 months being training, right? So for specific skills, that will happen after you join, right? So the first 2 months after you join will be the training. But if you've gone through the pre-joiner training for some skills, right, based on where the demand is, we might put you directly onto a project after you join, because you've already gone through the training, right, once the onboarding happens. So there's two kinds of things that will happen. It depends on, after you get selected, it depends on what kind of technology you are going to be placed into, and that would determine whether you will be part of the pre-joiner learning process or you will do the training post onboarding. And of course, in terms of locations, I shared with you all locations where you might be posted. It depends on the project. We do give some flexibility to the people to choose a location if there is a demand there, right? So let's say I have a demand in Noida for 10 roles. We have 20 people in that batch. We'll give the option, hey, anybody wants to go to Noida, right? If only 5 people volunteer, the remaining 5 we have to pick, right? So same thing with every other location. So you'll be given a choice, provided there is a demand there. Then you can definitely go to that location. If there's no demand in that location, obviously we can't support that. Okay. Next. Okay, so that's what I actually wanted to cover today, and I'm open for questions. Any questions, anybody? Yeah. Go.
Hello. So you said that currently the hiring is for consulting role. So sir, is it possible to make a switch to technical role internally?
Consulting is technical, right? So there are two things, right? So let me clarify. There is product development, right, which is about building softwares like DB2, mainframe development, etc. When I talk about consulting, it's about supporting clients writing the software, right, writing the applications. So there's a difference between when I use the word application versus software. Software is commercially available software from IBM, right? Consulting is application development that you write for clients. So if I may compare, what a TCS does is only consulting. So when I'm saying we are hiring for consulting, it is for supporting clients, for writing stuff, for developing stuff on various technologies that we have, like it could be mainframe, Java, Python, etc. So what we are not hiring right now as a part of this thing is for the software group, where they build IBM softwares, right? Like databases, building a database itself, right? New products. So it's not into the product development, the hiring that we are going to do next week. It's for the consulting division, which is application services.
Okay, sir.
Sir, actually, I have used the IBM learning platform. Sir, it's really good. Recently, I have done the Kiskit Summer School 2025. So, is there any way we can go to quantum, IBM quantum through this selection process?
Okay. See, with quantum, the research is at a very high level, right? We have not come to a place where it is opened up for others. As I said, we're just starting off with our first quantum computer in India in Amravati, Andhra, right? But I don't think we are yet at a position where we are opening it up for students to come in and play with it. But we probably will get there. I don't see that happening in the next 12 months though. Because there's a lot of research needs to happen still on that. There's some universities in US that they have tied up, very, very select universities in US who have access, but not a lot.
I checked out the site for applying jobs in IBM. Like there was an opportunity in Bangalore, IBM Bangalore.
I can't hear.
IBM Bangalore had a opening for quantum researcher.
On quantum, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check.
Sorry. Thank you.
But it is true that most of the research is happening IBM research labs in Bangalore. Any other questions? Okay. I guess no other questions. Looking forward for many of you to be part of IBM. It's a great company to be in and a great example. 22 years and running at IBM. Thank you, guys. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, there's a question.
Sir, actually, I have read about IBM in my second year IoT. What is the difference between this IBM and this IoT platform? Are they both same? What will be the work culture in the company related to IoT? Like IBM has IBM Watson, it has a Watson IoT platform. What is the relation between these two? What is the difference between these two?
Look, see, technology can be applied in various places, right? IoT is Internet of Things, right? So you would have heard about LLMs. Now there are tiny LLMs, right?
Yes.
After LLMs, SLMs, now tiny LLMs. You need models that can live on small devices. So it's just nothing but applying Watsonics as a technology, right, onto small devices, bringing that onto small devices, right? But it depends on case to case where the client demand is. Right now, IBM is focusing very heavily on AI-based opportunities. In fact, working with clients, giving them free, saying that, look, guys, come try our technology, see if it works, then you can buy. Try and buy kind of a thing. So they might be applying for the IoT also to that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
The best partnerships are built not just on shared success, but on shared values and vision. The IBM SRM collaboration continues to be a beacon of how industry and academia can work together to build a better tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Srinath, for those valuable insights and for sharing your wealth of experience with us today. Your journey from industry leadership to academic pursuit truly inspired us all. As we conclude today's session, let us remember that partnerships like the one between IBM and SRM are not just about technology transfer. They're about building ecosystems where innovation thrives, where learning never stops, and where the next generation of leaders are prepared to tackle tomorrow's challenges. We look forward to continuing this remarkable journey of collaboration, innovation, and growth. Together, we don't adapt future, we create it. Thank you all for your active participation and engagement. Huh?
Stay back.
All of you are requested to stay right here. They told us to make the students stay here.
What for?
I don't know.
Did you vote for them too? Didn't stay for them. Huh? So all the best students. So all the best for your IBM. I ensure that you should take one offer from this. Okay. So please be here where they have to take the attendance. Then you can leave. We will have the process next week mostly. We'll improve the dates. Okay. Thank you. Be here for taking for the attendance.